There is not the fancy pre-stream screen on Twitch.
There should be, exactly. Thank you for checking. And this should go to the other channels as well. So, greetings everyone. If you're watching already, we're just doing a light pre-stream check, and we will start with the actual gameplay momentarily. Thank you for your patience. Stay with us and prepare any questions you might have for our team.
I see the audience of 4 people.
I feel Shuhai is always among the first.
It's not just the audience on Discord, we have other channels going, starting up now as well.
Yeah, so the YouTube is still not running?
Yeah, because I have to actually do the thing.
Steam is running, so that's perfect. Javik, these streams will only be in English, but there might be another one on the same topic in Russian. That's not really guaranteed though. For now, we'll speak in English.
And yes, YouTube should be running now as well.
It is.
So we should be live everywhere. And it is saved as public.
And on Discord, you're not streaming.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Alright, so I shall ping people.
Let's ping everyone, yeah.
And the audience is arriving.
And here we go. Greetings everyone, and welcome to our third live streaming session of Man of War 2. Dare I say traditional session now. And this week is a little bit special for us because we will be showing you something completely new that we haven't shown at all yet, and that's a new campaign mode for single player and co-op called Raids. Now, before we start, as usual, my name is Michal from the marketing team at Fulqrum Publishing. With me co-hosting is Michal from the production team in Fulqrum Publishing.
Sup.
And Dominic, also from the marketing team, who will be taking care of the chat and taking all your questions.
Hey there!
Seems like we're all here. So, without further ado, let me take you to Raids. Now that's, as I mentioned, it's a type of a campaign, so it's in the campaign tab, and there are 4 types of raids. One where you play as Americans on the Western Front against Germans, one where you play as Germans on the Western Front against Americans, and vice versa. On Eastern Front, where you play as Soviets against Germans, and again Eastern Front, where you play as Germans against the Soviets. Now, what exactly is a raid? And we will show you that right now, if Michal would invite me to the team.
Oh, absolutely.
So teaming up for a co-op game is very simple. One of your friends simply sends you an invitation, you get a notification in the upper right corner, you click accept, and there we are in the same team. That means that we will now be joined in any single player that my esteemed colleague Michal starts as a co-op team, and since he just clicked himself into the Eastern Front raid where we will be playing as the Germans, that's where it teleported me, and now I can't click anywhere else because our team leader decided that we will be playing this, so we will. Now, to the further
I'll take
question.
responsibility.
We will blame you definitely. So what is a raid? A raid is, simply put, a string of missions that are randomly put together in order, random maps with random objectives and game modes, dare I say. At heart, you will be playing in the style of battalions, but you don't get the typical preformed, or rather completely preformed battalions you might be used to playing with in the PvP multiplayer. You have to kind of construct your own.
And you can scramble the campaign whenever you like. Start from the beginning, you just restart it. It will randomly generate a different campaign, a set of maps, a set of modes.
Yes. And as you progress, so when you start, you only have the very basic units unlocked, and you can only put together your battalion, your regiment from those. But as you progress, as you complete more and more missions, you receive experience and currency, and the experience is used to unlocking new units. So if anyone knows me at all, then they will know that I'm primarily a artilleryman. So I will definitely want to unlock my favorite heavy howitzer. Let's do that.
Despite the many misses that you will cause in the future.
Come on. It's true, but come on. And I definitely should take some flag guns so we don't get pummeled by aircraft. And I have only very little experience left. That's the gold star number, the 225 experience there. So let's see. Should I actually... Well, let's take a scout plane that can come in handy. Now, that's one part of it. I've unlocked the units and I can put them into my regiment. However, have you selected the battle that we will be in?
Not yet. I thought you would be explaining the techno bubble, but if you want to, I can transfer you over.
So now we've selected the mission, and we can select one of the three, either tank, infantry, or artillery battalions.
Whichever one you unlock later.
Yes. And since I mentioned I like playing artillery, then I will edit my artillery regiment and take that. Now, I have unlocked the heavy 21 cm howitzer, but I can't really use it yet, because I also need to recruit the units themselves. So, Now I can put it there, but if I want to play with 2 units in the slot, I need to purchase 1 more. And that's done with the other currency, not experience, but since we're playing as Germans in this raid, we're using the German Reichsmarks. These are also generated as you play. So I recruited 1 more. As you can see in my barracks, I have 1 available. I add it to that slot, and now I have 0 left again. So that's how you manage your regiment. You need to unlock the unit you want to buy and put into your regiment. However, in the technology tree, however, the number you want, the number of units that you can call into battle is then determined by how many you buy for the currency and put into your echelons. So let's really quickly go through my options, because I did more unlocks before. Yeah. Do we have any questions so far?
Well, yeah, I would like to address the first question that's asking which chat are we seeing? We are trying to answer as many questions as possible, but we are mostly focusing on Discord, so we'll answer all of them here on Discord. But we're also checking out the YouTube, Steam, Twitch, and other chats, so feel free to ask anywhere. But if you want to have a guarantee response, just please answer on Discord. And yeah, since you're in the menu, one of the questions asks, what are the purple units that were in the tree?
Oh yes, so some units or most units you unlock through the research here, but then there are the collector units, or collectors units, and those are unlocked by completing specific tasks, let's say, and that's how you unlock them. So after playing certain missions in the raid, they become available. It's really the same as in PvP multiplayer, where you also either unlock new units or collectors units by purchasing them with the supply resources, or you get them awarded by unlocking certain achievements, completing certain tasks. So it's very similar as that, but during the raid.
Thank you for answering that one. Will you be starting the game now, or shall we continue with the questions?
I think we can start. I'll just buy a few more infantrymen over here, and yeah, I think we're ready. At least I am.
There we go.
Now the gameplay itself, that will be very familiar, that you've already experienced. However, each of the missions in the sequence in the raid gets randomized objectives. So even if we do get to play the frontline mode, we won't be getting just the objective of pushing the front line and securing more territory, and getting those capture the flag objectives during the game. There might be a twist where we are tasked with killing certain units of the enemy, hunting for their snipers, for example, and stuff like that. We'll see once we start.
Only the first echelon is available at the moment.
And you might have just heard one of the improvements we've made very recently, and that's adding more voiceover lines. For example, the one that just told us that only the first echelon is available. And yeah, the typical preparation phase, we call in the first units, wait for the front line to unlock, and for the whole map to unlock, and there we go. Okay, so I'll go towards the right side, but sticking mostly to the middle. I'm taking my mobile AA, so I will try to keep that more in a central location to get the most out of the anti-aircraft cover. And let's start pushing the front line with our infantry. I'll actually send the other AA vehicle completely on your side, Michal, so you get some coverage too. Okay, we've got company.
And while you're dealing with that company, are you guys comfortable with answering more questions?
Always. At least we'll have like a excuse why we get our butts kicked.
That's what I thought.
Well,
Okay, so first question from Wilner from Discord is a general question about Man of War. If the players are expected to play multiplayer in a specific way?
Not really. Like one of the biggest selling points I think of Man of War 2 is how varied the experience in game can be. So whether you enjoy a certain game mode like the front line or combat sectors or assault zones or combat or yes, incursion. I didn't want to say it like the first, but yeah, I like incursion. Whether you prefer battalion gameplay or combined arms or the classic mode, whether you like playing more with tanks or artillery or infantry units, we're trying to accommodate all tastes in gameplay.
I think it should be the motto of the game.
Yes.
Something for everyone.
Understood. Speaking of that, we have our favorite questions coming. And one of them is about the DLCs and after launch content. So what are we planning to do after launch?
Michal, do you want to answer this one for a change?
Sure, absolutely. As we've said, we have plenty of rich content planned after the launch itself, but it all saves all the performance of the game. If you guys like it, you chime in and we'll play. We'll see that people enjoy Man of War 2. Then we'll start bombarding you with new stuff.
And really the decision of what will be implemented and when is also very dependent not just on how many of you play, but on the feedback we get from you. I hope that like by now and definitely at the latest at launch we will have proven that we value and listen to the voices of our community. We've done numerous playtests, and I believe that in between each playtest you could see how we tried to bring the gameplay experience and the content closer to what you expressed your wishes to be. And we absolutely intend to continue developing the game even after the launch with that principle in mind.
Yeah, I already have a document with like 6 months of stuff you guys wanted worth implementing off, so I think we are to a roaring start.
And we still have that suggestions and ideas channel on our Discord, so feel free to contribute if you have any cool idea that you'd like to see added in the future. And we might consider it.
Exactly. Like, our Discord is definitely the best place to come to discuss the game and share your feedback. But of course we are monitoring all our social media channels as well as the Steam forums.
Alright, question from, and sorry if I read it wrong, hi Gia. Are these raid battles based on actual historic events?
No. So raids are basically maps that you can play in multiplayer as well, and they are randomly put one after another with random gameplay objectives. So
But the locations do take inspiration from real locations that you can find all over Eastern or Western Front.
that's true. That's true. So when playing on the Eastern Front, you will definitely feel closer to that experience, that the environments that you might expect on the Eastern Front. But there aren't like exact historical maps, like I don't know, like Battle for Stalingrad or something like that. No.
Or Arras, places like that.
Yeah.
Hygia is following up with this question and asking no historic battles. That's not entirely true. There are those historic campaigns, are no?
Historical campaigns, yes, but that's not raids. That's a different type of campaign.
Alrighty, Grantay on Discord is asking, will there be a collector's version on release or just the base game?
So there will be a digital deluxe edition. We will be unveiling the contents very soon. But yes, if you are a fan of Men of War, there will be some goodies that you can expect.
They might also been asking about the fact that whether this is a physical edition.
Physical collector's edition will not be available at release. Yeah.
But I feel like this is again a thing that would depend, right?
Indeed, there are no plans right now, but I do believe that this has happened in the past, that for example after several DLCs have been released, there was a physical release of a complete edition or gold or any way you want to call it, and that might include some extra goodies as well.
So essentially we are not closing the door, but at the moment there is no
Question from Discord regarding the mode you are playing. Is this what will be the dynamic campaign type mode?
No.
Technically, no. So you can say it has certain elements of a dynamic campaign. This is a raid, so no. This is not the dynamic campaign.
And we'll actually be unveiling more info about those in one of the future streams, am I right?
Yes, in the one 4 freaks from now, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, May the 10th, campaigning but dynamically.
Exactly, yes.
Is that?
J-Dog is asking, will you be able to sell old equipment? And I assume he's referring to the units that you buy for the raid. Are you able to sell them after the mission?
No.
Okay, another one from Trailer Park Bomber. What is the expected price of the game on release?
We will let you know very soon when we're announcing the exact release date. All these details will be shared with you.
A very interesting question on Discord from Wilner. Do you guys intend any unspoken rules about PvP? Like, for example, hey guys, don't exploit this, and this tactic was not planned to be used, and so on?
I definitely wouldn't say so. Like when we find some behavior that we would consider cheating or exploiting a bug, then obviously we will do our best to fix that as soon as possible. But if you develop a tactic we weren't counting on that's more efficient than we expected or anything like that, more power to you. We love seeing what people can come up with and how they will even completely change the experience for everyone on the battlefield.
A question from Sava on Discord. Are there plans of a game mode similar to the Frontlines game mode from Assault Squad 2 where you would have an attacking and defending side?
It's not exactly as the Frontline mode from Assault Squad. However, there are game modes that are, let's say, asymmetric like that, where one team has the defender role and one team has the attacker role. And that's, for example, the incursion mode that we streamed on our first live stream session, and that was already available in the playtests as well.
A question from Stania on Discord. Will there be Karl Morser or Karl Gerard mortars for the Germans?
No. Not on the release.
Yeah, that's another one of those ideas that should be put into suggestions, and we will be taking a look at those, and we might bring that after the launch.
Yeah, it's actually been on my list for quite a while. I love Karl Gerard. It's a nice piece of history, but at the moment, balancing is the thing. You would have to rebalance something else with that. Cannot give one side an obvious advantage.
Thank you for handling that one. Question from Spinkster on Discord. Will there be a hardcore mode where all the colorful shields on top of units are removed to give it a more realistic feel?
Well, the UI is very customizable, so you can actually turn off most, if not all, these elements. And yeah, and you technically could play in basically the photo mode.
You mean the screenshot mode?
The screenshot mode, yeah. Where all UI is turned off, but then there's also the realism mode that entails more than just tweaking the UI, but also gives guns limited range and tweaks the damage model somewhat. So yeah, I wouldn't call it hardcore mode exactly, but you could call it that, the realism mode that we have.
Question from Marianne M on YouTube. Will there be competitive matchmaking?
Yes. There are actually 3 types of matchmaking for each of the one for each of the basic multiplayer modes. So there will be matchmaking dedicated to the battalion multiplayer mode, to the combined arms mode, and to classic mode as well.
Another question from Hygia on Twitch. I'm really sorry if I'm misspelling your name. Sorry. Does the AI opponents in Raid obey same rules as humans would? I mean, playing with same rules? I suppose that means same resources and stuff like that.
It really depends on the mode, frankly.
That's
And
true.
it depends on the mission, and it depends on the settings. But
Yeah,
sure, there are some advantages being given to the AI in certain modes and in certain missions.
and probably the difficulty affects this as well, right?
You can technically say that, but we don't base difficulty purely on numbers. It also goes to the quality, to the placement, and so on. So, as we said, there are plenty of modes. It's actually a rather difficult question to answer. Sometimes there is advantage for the AI. It really depends on the individual
I
actual battle that you are fighting.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could say that AI does not get an advantage in terms of like unit performance. They don't get like an armor
that
buff
is
or
completely
weapon,
true.
damage or accuracy or anything like that.
Most definitely. But
Yeah.
if you have a scripted mission where it can draw in many more tanks than you can, then in that case it does have an advantage, and you can
Yes.
say that.
Basically, it doesn't
That's why I'm
necessarily
specifying.
follow the same rules in terms of calling in units and what units they have available, but it follows the same rules in terms of unit behavior.
Again, it massively depends on the actual mission you are playing or the actual battle you are fighting.
I think you guys summed it up pretty well because Hygia is thanking for the answer, so good job. Question from Legacy on Discord. Are you guys allowed to talk about the D-Day mission that was in the trailer? Like, is it going to be intense and hard to push towards?
I'm not entirely sure which trailer you mean, because we've had a couple.
I think he means the one where the ships are trying to reach the shore, right?
Ah.
The original announcement or the date announcement trailer. You've got to understand, Mikhail had to announce the release several times.
No. We only announced it once before we.
Well, this is the second time.
Let's not go there.
Thin ice.
But I'm trying to recall the exact scene. However, I think it's safe to say that most of the scenes in trailers were not captured while playing a given mission. So I don't think there's an exact replica of what you saw in that.
I
However,
think,
happen.
answer the mission. The mission is slightly different, but you do get to assault the beach itself.
Yeah, like all the maps you saw in the trailers are real. All the units are real. It's just like the formations and the movement over the battlefield and stuff like that was kind of simulated for dramatic effect. That doesn't mean that you couldn't arrange your units and move them in the same way.
Like, it's the best way to put it, because I can never send my units in such a beautiful straight line.
Well, they would die fairly quickly in a real battle, right? As well, so yeah.
That is true.
Okay, suggestion from XGen. Think about AI support to generate maps and custom skirmishes. You will have an infinite single-player games like Civilization series.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. It's not currently planned to have like randomly generated maps from the ground up.
Okay. Question from Minmax, and this is a good one since we are on a winter map. Are there frozen rivers and lakes found in winter maps that can be traversed through?
Oh, you can see one of my tanks just sank. So it's pretty dynamic.
Where is it? So I could show it.
It's 6E, I think. Between 6E and F.
Yeah, you're
It's
actually
very
right.
close to
You're
the
right
front.
there. You were right there, next to the.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I see it now. Yes. Let's try to highlight it. There we
Yeah.
go.
I
Yes.
basically broke through the ice and it sank because I wasn't
Yeah,
careful.
and you could see infantry units moving safely across the ice on the other hand. That was there in just a minute ago. So yes, the ice on the frozen rivers is also like simulated. It acts in a ways that you would expect it.
Another question from Stania on Discord. Right now, the most efficient way to put tank traps is one by one holding shift. Can we put them in line as supposed, but control tank trap density with mouse wheel? Like we do with the curves for trenches.
Well, I'm now not sure if that's a question or rather a suggestion, really.
Yeah, but probably both, yeah. But I think Stania asking if it's possible to the future for the mines to be, or the traps, for the players to be controlled in the same way as the trenches.
Technically, don't see why not. The thing is, there is a specific, let's say, nuance to the control. You can lose the engineers who are supposed to build them up. You can lose them at any point. So we felt that it's better to do so manually and to lose them like half the way, or them having to build what is essentially one huge structure placed next to pieces of which are placed next to each other. So you have the fine control now, but it really does make sense if we discover that it would be for players' benefit to include, I'd say, the group option later.
Thank you very much for taking care of that one. Sava is asking, will there be workshop support? If not on launch, will there be one in the future?
There'll be one on launch.
And
Okay.
I believe we've announced it before, but I can repeat
We
it
did.
now. That there will actually be some mods available right at launch as well.
Thank you very much. Nemesiux, hi, will you add other minor nations units like Romania, Hungary, or will you add Japan? They exist as a faction in the older games.
So not at launch. It is possible that we will add more nations and more units that way post-launch. But also, like modders have full set of tools to create new custom armies themselves. And we're really looking forward to, and maps of course.
And scenarios and campaigns.
Everything. So we're looking forward to seeing what the community will come up with as well.
Okay, Finn, the paratrooper guy is asking, does the editor support Steam Workshop?
Well, in what way? That would be nice to ask.
I suppose that if
Wait.
you create something in the editor, if you can upload it directly to the Steam Workshop.
That's actually a good question. Answer to which I do not know. But I'll be happy to answer this after.
Yes, please type the question on Discord as well, and we will find out exactly and tell you the details later.
Yeah, it is on Discord. I have already saved it. I will send it to you guys and we'll answer
Perfect.
it.
Because theoretically it is possible to create a mission, run it from within the game. I cannot tell you if you can directly upload a file from the editor, or you have to modify it at the moment. But we'll be publishing a full manual for everyone in Russian and English. So anyone who is keen to mod, get one of those basics, which includes the workshop support, will be able to browse this completely free of charge, read it up, leave us a feedback. If there is any info you guys would like to know, please feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to answer it. Even on a technical level, unless there is a proprietary block, we'll always answer. I'll be happy to speed it up if you really need it for your mod.
Okay, Marianne M on YouTube is asking, will there be improvements in terms of graphics?
Well, we've recently announced some improvements, like big leaps forward. For example, the physically based rendering, and the new way we approach water modeling, pretty much. So yeah, there have been huge improvements. And these have happened between the last playtest and now, so yeah. The game will look
We keep
better.
on improving. Like it's a steady progress. The game will keep on looking better and better. That's something we can promise.
Mhm.
Related to that is a question if there will be any more cover animations.
Not at the moment. But it's one of the things we are sort of passionate about. So once we get the release out of the way, we'll be looking into animations in general as well.
Okay, question from Phalanx on YouTube. Please add a single-player conquer mode.
It's already there, mate.
And we will be showing that in 4 weeks.
Yeah, May the 10th, there is a stream planned, we'll be showing that one. We will also share, or we have actually done that already, shared all the dates with the upcoming streams, so it's on Steam, the most recent news.
Basically, in 2 weeks we will be showing, I kind of renamed it into Fun with Tanks, because we'll be showing some really fun custom multiplayer modes, let's say. And
Some less than ordinary.
less conventional, let's say. Yes, that
Yeah.
might be the best way to put it.
The ones that you play with your friends and, you joke about their ineptitude.
Yeah, but that can be done with any.
Sure.
And then 2 weeks after that, we will be showing the dynamic campaign.
Question from Minmax on Discord. Can the basic UI look be modded? I mean alternative skins and colors for buttons. If yes, would it work for multiplayer too?
Michal, modding questions I leave up to you completely.
That remains to be seen. Like, you can mod it to a certain degree, but it will be up to the modders to like give it a different look if they want to. I think this is something that will depend on what will be unlocked from the files, and you will see that on the release. But again, if there is a good case for this and you find that this is something that you cannot do, give me a DM, I'll check into it. But I feel strongly like this is one of the things that any modder should be able to do at the very minimum, which is changing the interface. They don't like colors, they don't like, but we'll see.
Okay, since you guys are getting closer to the victory, I'll make a brief pause with the questions, and we'll continue after that. And it seems you are winning, even though you were answering those questions.
Yeah, it's just not as fast a victory as it could have been.
I see corpses everywhere.
Los geht's! Greift an! Sie geben den Befehl und wir werden folgen. Befehle verstanden. Oh!
Yep, I think we've got it.
Yeah, I'm pushing a bit over here, so I think we should be okay. Even though there's some mortar firing from somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is. Did you see how I just knocked down the ice with artillery?
No.
Let's show it a little more.
Sounds like another instance of a great miss. Now I see. I get the victory.
I killed some ice and we're victorious. Come on.
Sure. I think it was more likely to the fact that we were capturing territory, but never floats the other.
100% no. 100% it was the ice.
Right, yeah. Okay. So I did not get the best score from our team, so let's close that real quick. And yeah, you can see we've completed a mission, a stage in the raid campaign. I was awarded some XP and unlocked new units, and I was actually given 3 units that I can use in the battalion. So I'll take a look at the technology tree again. And what should I unlock? Any preferences in the audience?
100% the purple ones, please. As much of them as you can. Oh, I'm not the audience, sorry.
And I didn't understand you, so...
I wanted the purple one. The purple one.
Yeah, but the purple ones aren't opened with, unlocked with experience. Those are the collector units.
Which we've discussed several times.
Don't be so hard on him. Oh yes, there's one more thing I did not mention before, and that's the 2 types of experience or research. I just misclicked, so I may not be able to show it now, and I might actually. So you see the gold star on top. That's what's called free XP, and that can be used to unlock kind of any unit in the technology tree. But by using a certain unit, scoring kills with it and stuff like that, you generate XP specific for that unit. So you can see that with my flag 36 that I actually unlocked prior to that battle, I've collected 1117 XP. And I can use that to unlock the next unit in the tree, which is Wirbelwind. And since that costs 987 XP to research, I can just unlock it and not lose the free XP. And since that was the end of this technology tree branch, I had some XP left in there, and that got added to my free XP pool, so it's not lost. So even if you're playing as like artillery or tanks, you can still unlock other units and switch to that different gameplay even mid-rate if you want to.
But it pays off to specialize, because you unlock it faster.
Definitely.
So whatever is in your tree gives you a chance to unlock anything else that is on the higher level than the previous unlock. And if you specialize in artillery, like Mikhail does, you will probably unlock all the artillery options first. And by that, artillery units first. Okay, it seems like Valley of Death is calling us for one more mission.
For sure, I'm just gonna unlock some anti-tank guns, because I was lacking a little bit there. So, yeah. Why not? And okay, let's move on to the next mission.
Cool.
And I'll just customize my regiment a bit. Oh yeah. I'll take my Pak 36. Put it over here.
Just a question: will this Q&A be also uploaded publicly?
Yes, we will. I know that we forgot to like publish the previous video on YouTube. We just linked it on Steam, but we will publish them all.
Yes, definitely. Well, I am ready.
Sorry for the hold up. I'm just kind of maximizing the amount of units I've got here. Okay, let's go. Yep, we can start now.
Cool.
There we go.
Okay. As soon as you are ready to accept more questions, just let me know.
Oh, anytime. Like
Anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. You are brave today. Okay, so There's a question on Discord. Will there be any minefield clearing vehicle? For example, the Sherman crab.
There already are, I believe, aren't there?
Yeah, there is a category. Both Sherman and the German Minesweeper. They are there.
And I believe Soviets have a T-34 variant. That's a minesweeper
Yes,
as well,
they do.
right? Alright. What objectives do we have this time? Is it frontline again, or...?
This is frontline.
Okie doke. So similar tactic as before, I'm staying a little bit to the right and covering the middle with AA at the same time.
And try to take the bunkers. They are pretty good
Mm,
as points of capture.
true.
I try to capture the heights, frankly. It's like the least thankful part of this.
Well, it's not a front line. You lied to me.
I did. Sorry. I didn't see any pointers.
So yeah, like technically okay, you weren't lying. It's still using the frontline mechanic, but we need to capture and hold these key points.
By pushing the front line.
Exactly.
Okay, and while you're at it, question from Legacy. Can you tell us what mods are going to be released when the workshop comes out with the game?
So the mods we've already announced are actually Born in the Fire America, which is a mod that will allow you to, let's say, experience the American War for Independence.
Oh.
Was
You'll
it?
essentially experience several epochs. in American
Oh, right,
history.
it's not just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, you will be able to play several chapters in the American history there.
Yeah, it will be the pilgrims, you'll be the revolutionaries, you'll be cowboys for a moment. Essentially, it takes a little tour through the American history and their experience.
And the other mod is the Lost Eagles, unless I'm mistaken, yes?
Yep. And that is a very highly customized mode that essentially plays as an adventure or an RPG. It gives you a chance to experience several days with the, I believe, 101 para after they have been dropped into Normandy, trying to avoid capture, trying to fulfill their objectives. It's an interesting mod, like a very story driven, I would say. Completely different from the base experience.
Okay, Nemesios on Discord, excuse me, is asking, can you tell us what the deluxe edition of the game will include?
We will unveil the exact contents very soon. Not today.
Not today. Altberg is asking us on YouTube, do we know how many units will there be for each faction?
I was afraid he was gonna ask about the customized campaign he keeps on wanting. Like,
Well, now he can, since we reminded him. But the question stands, how many units for each faction?
close to 100. I would say over 100 in total. We have close to 400 units in total, pretty much evenly distributed between the three factions. So you are getting over 100 units for each of the factions. I should say 100 types.
By the way, we're experiencing a serious infantry push through the middle around A.
Yeah, like, I have nothing to help you out with, so I guess your cannons will somehow deal with that.
I don't think so.
Okay, it looks like not. So I am sending some help.
Yeah, we'll have the second echelon soon, so...
Los geht's.
It seems like you guys responded to every single question we had, so feel free to talk about the game.
Well, we can talk about how we're getting our butts kicked this time, I guess.
Everybody's
And
seen
without
that.
the
That's
AI
obvious.
having any advantage.
Yeah, the AI here just was able to spawn a significant amount of infantry units. That's why.
Could you push towards A and F? We are very close.
Well, we
to
just unlocked the second echelon, so that should help.
I'm sending a friend of mine,
Wir tarnen uns und warten auf den Feind.
Mr. Junkers. Clear the way.
Zum Sieg! Bereit zum Feuern auf Ihren Befehl.
And here we are. Legacy is asking the real serious questions. Any muffins in game?
No, because contrary to the legend, we don't actually eat muffins.
Well, yeah, that was the Berg's rumor that we do it.
Well, he wants some free muffins, I understand that, but, you know.
But there
What's
will be
his deal?
cakes.
Liar.
Zu Ihren Diensten, Kommandant.
You managed to stop them. That's actually cool.
For now.
Die Gruppe ist bereit für den Einsatz.
Yeah, for now, but you're still in the lead.
For now.
You had any doubts about that capability?
Now this is an interesting question from Legacy, and I have not heard that one yet. How about any Easter eggs in the game? Will there be any?
Yeah, I guess yes. But we wouldn't be revealing them, right? Especially fans of certain web series might be pretty happy.
That is true.
So you're just gonna leave them hanging like this, not gonna spoil anything.
It's an Easter egg, I'm not gonna reveal it for them.
Exactly. Where would,
Okay.
You've got to play the game.
where would be the fun in that?
Well, it will be an Easter egg for everyone, but the people who are watching the streams would know where to look for them, you know? It would be a reward for watching.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
play the game.
that would be an unfair advantage as well, though. We don't want to do that, do we?
You mean you don't want to make these streams actually useful for someone who is listening?
Yeah, Legacy says he loves Easter eggs, so he must be having the time of his life as Easter just passed a few days back, you know?
That's true.
He will definitely get a few. And I can assure him that they have nothing to do with the guy with the moustache, so that might be something that he will not be happy about.
Einer weniger. Ein weiterer Feind eliminiert.
Okay, question from Sanchez Monstas on YouTube. Will there be cable mechanics, such an infantryman being able to take a cable, attach it to a tank, and drag it to the rear with another tank, for example?
No, not at the moment. It's a great idea. In theory, we have to deal with it for the practice. So no cables at the moment. But I
Yeah,
love it. Please do post it. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, but for artillery, for example, you still have those cars that can drag the artillery around.
Sure you do.
Yeah, not only
But
that, but also
cable is something different.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, you're right.
Like I'm totally not against it, but it's more of a quantity mechanic than quality mechanic. If you know what I mean. So we'll add more ways of doing the same thing when you guys get everything you need in the quantity department after the release.
Aldberg is asking, I noticed that most vehicles have lights active on night maps. Will there be also environmental light sources, like big fires or lit up houses?
So you can technically see them now on the point A, which is actually burning. You can see the environment being lit up all around. So maybe Michal wants to.
I'm
showcase
just showing it now,
camera.
yes.
Also,
So yeah,
on the
fires, light sources will be behaving pretty normally. There is a tank burning here, and we can observe how it looks basically.
pretty fire is pretty, Aldberg said. Yeah. So are you, Aldberg.
Kommandant, wie lauten Ihre Befehle?
Oh no. We've got to take C, otherwise we are buggered.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We have responded to many questions in the previous streams. Is there perhaps something that you would like to remind people of as we are streaming right now? Some topic that we'd
I mean,
like
like
to bring up?
release date or something.
Yes, something like that. Or nations that will be released.
Sure, well, there will be 3 nations at launch. The Americans, Soviets, and the Germans.
You mean the Third Reich?
The Third Reich, of course. Definitely not the first, nor the second one.
Angriff ist die beste Verteidigung.
Maybe interesting question about the mode that you're currently playing. How does the raid actually end? Is there something like a final mission, or what does it look like?
Yeah, it's 16 missions in total. So once you win them all, then you win the raid.
Yep.
Or do you
And
actually
Apologies, go on.
Michal, do you actually need to win them all, because there are
Technically, as they unlock, you basically need to reach the final one.
yeah, but sometimes you can select.
Yeah,
just
sometimes you
to-
get a fork. You don't always have to fulfill the fork. But
But
it's a
you
good
can.
idea if you don't play all the missions. There is a chance that you will not get enough resources, upgrade your army, and thus, even though you will get into the final mission, you'll be facing an opponent who has upgraded his armies whilst you have not, and you will feel it. So there are plenty of options how to approach the missions. You can restart at any time, you can play it with the friends anytime, You can then go back and play the raid solo.
Wir warten auf Ihre Befehle.
But it's a good idea to play all the missions for the XP and the Reichsmarks, the currency.
And the finally itself, the final mission, will it be somehow different than the others? Will it be like the last line of defense or something like that?
It will be very challenging, I can tell you that. But since all of the missions are randomly generated, which basically makes this sort of dynamic skirmish campaign, no, there is no special end of the line mission. That we reserve for Conquest.
Okay, and maybe one question that has not been asked. This is straightly a co-op mode. You can play with your friends, but against AI, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You can play single player or co-op, but it's not competitive multiplayer.
For that you have the 3 dedicated modes and all of the other modes that you can play in the lobby.
Yes.
And there are up to 5 players for each raid. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Na toll, noch eine Schlacht. Das habe ich vermisst.
Seems like you guys are winning again. Almost getting to the end. 300 more points. 200 actually.
Yeah, and I think we can capture F.
Okay. You think we can? I'll believe you. I just hope I can bomb that bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I'll try to take this T28.
And so you don't think us gods, we are actually playing on normal difficulty, so
Yeah,
this is how
so
it looks.
the way it was pretty close at one point, that was a little bit embarrassing for us, but yeah.
And you can use the cue card where you say that you are asking the questions. We're not focusing at the game.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think my experience is pretty balanced. Like the hardest difficulty is really hard to beat, even with the good tactics and friends, as it should be. And the easy one is for beginners, and it's pretty easy to beat, as it should be.
yes, I would definitely say so.
Good question on Discord. What exactly is randomly generated in raid mode? I think we have not even mentioned this, that it's randomly generated. So how exactly? What is changing each gameplay?
We have
Each
mentioned it at the very beginning. What changes are all of the missions, so it's like a card pack. Every time you click the restart button, it scrambles all of the maps in the structure of the campaign. That's basically what it does. And you start over with no technology, well, with the bases, with some points, but you've got to work your way up till the final mission.
And also, like, it's not just the sequence of the maps themselves that generated, but also the objectives, the game modes for the maps.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we lost G for no reason whatsoever. I'm taking that back.
And capturing of F is not looking so bright either, yeah? You wanted to do that.
Yeah, but you'll get there.
It's almost done, anyway.
Minimax is asking, is there no original new content in raid mode?
What do you mean by original new content?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the mode itself is pretty original. Like there is, it's dynamic
The
and
entire concept is completely different
Yeah.
from all the other campaigns.
yeah, it is.
I guess the question is if any of the maps are strictly for raids only. In that sense, no. Like all the maps that can be played in a raid can also be played through lobby, through normal multiplayer.
Yeah. But these are the rules for standard skirmish as well. You play a sequence of maps that do exist in the game. So no special pre-scripted missions. You fulfill certain objectives, but you go through all of the maps that are available for the standard gameplay. That's how skirmishes work. And as I mentioned, this is essentially dynamic skirmish campaign. Alright.
Yeah.
I am pretty happy with 2 victories, Michael.
Me too.
I don't think we have anything else to add. So
Yeah,
you
good job,
guys,
guys. Good job.
final 3-5 questions, whatever you've got.
There is one from Wilna that we have answered about the DLCs. Yeah, so let's just quickly remind everyone what are we planning after launch.
Basically, it depends a lot on you. We are not, well, not on you, Dominic, but on you, players and fans. We won't be unveiling any plans yet. We have a lot of ideas, a lot of options we can go to. But we also want and need to hear your feedback after launch. What should come next?
It should be helped by some of the refreshed forums on our refresh phase Discord, right, Dominic?
Right, yes.
Which is something we are planning for you as well before the release.
Yeah, also if you can't think of any more questions, there will be 2 more streams that are currently scheduled. I will attach the info about them to this conversation, and you can simply ask your questions there too. And there is one final question, probably the most important one from Virion. Will we get more men after release?
You will get all the men.
Men. The more men you spam, the sooner will be more.
Yeah,
Well, at least all the real ones.
Also, have I mentioned that only those who are spamming men will get access to the game? Nobody else will get it.
basically, the more men you put out, the more men you get.
True.
Just careful with the spam.
I know.
There were people who were just writing man like 1,000 times in one message and were copy pasting it. So no, that's not the way. Just few per day, it's okay.
If you want to write 1,000 men, you better write them one by one. Copy pasting is cowardice.
And on a different note, you guys might have noticed that we'll be running the final playtest before the release. So please do join in to the champions if you want to. There will be no more beta tests.
Yes, I would put it slightly differently. So we won't be running any public playtests, any public open betas anymore. But if you want to take part in closed testing of and help with the last polishing and last rounds of feedback, then join our champions program. That's the simplest way is to send an email to champions@fulqrumpublishing.com. We will post the instructions on Discord. We have included it in our latest announcements on Steam. So yeah, feel free to sign up. We'll be happy to have you test and listen to your feedback.
Answer to you, Slatelli, it has not been really yet decided. Just please stay in touch with the Champions Manager. He will let you know more about the playlists.
So if we don't have any more questions from our online audience, if there aren't any new requests, I think we will call it a day. So let's give it a few more seconds. If someone doesn't come up, doesn't come forward.
Yeah, Shuhai is sniping. So let us wait for what
Of
he comes
course.
up with, and that will be the final. Yeah, he deleted it, so that's probably.
Okay, in that case, I hope you enjoyed watching us as much as we enjoyed playing and chatting with you. If you have any more questions at any time, don't hesitate to write us on Discord, on Steam, or any of our other social media channels. And we'll see you on the battlefield again in 2 weeks with our upcoming live stream, Fun with Tanks. Until then, have fun, and we'll see you soon.
See you. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you,
Everyone.
and bye.